Alright, what is going on everybody? It is Tristan, and today I've finally put together the updated sneakers how to cop video. It has taken me a little bit to do this, I know, but I just really wanted to actually add some new information because I feel like there's been a lot happening with sneakers since the last time I even made this video. We've had information come out about exclusive access. We've even had a recent post about the fairness of sneakers in the last kind of day or two come out. So we'll kind of, get into those, discuss those, but also mainly discuss how you guys can actually cop in the app, link you to helpful videos. So we'll just kind of hop into that. So if you guys want more content like this, of course, feel free to subscribe and like down below. That's what we do on the channel here, how to cop videos, sneaker investing videos. We do like I haven't done many like try on videos, but of course we collect shoes for the personal collection. So yeah, that's really everything I need to mention, and let's get into how you guys can cop more often on this app, since we all know we don't like it. But there are ways to make it a little bit more likable, and hopefully in the future they'll actually make it more fair for people who want to wear their kicks or just want a pair or two, whatever it may be. I don't really know, but you can check my Instagrams and all that down below also. So first things first, about the sneakers app. Now you can see I'm just kind of like on the main page here. I'm not really going to be showing you all anything too direct on the screen right now. Just kind of listen to what I have to say, I guess. But the first thing I want to mention about the sneakers app that can help you cop more often, and I feel like this is one that's very useful, but I want to mention something specific about this tip because I know I've told people about this one before, is when you're checking out, use 2-day shipping, because Nike likes people who pay for shipping more, and I think that honestly gives you a higher chance of hitting. I've hit a lot more with 2-day shipping than I have with regular standard shipping. But I want to mention one thing about this tip. If you have multiple accounts, of course, because as you guys know, multiple accounts increases the chances of you copping, at least in my opinion. If you have more accounts, you're entering in the draw more often, which I feel like that just kind of is like a no-brainer. If you enter more in the lottery, then obviously you'll have a higher chance. But first things first about this tip that I really want to get into is when you are using it on multiple accounts, sometimes it will not let you process out your order. Like you'll be sitting there and it'll be loading for like a minute or two, and you'll refresh it, try it again, and it still won't let it go through. Now sometimes you'll refresh it and try it again with 2-day shipping, and it'll let you check out and everything will process through. But if it is not letting some of your multiple accounts process through with 2-day shipping, just don't bother doing it. Just do standard shipping. It's better to just have something check out than to not have it check out at all. I just want to let you all know that. So if you've been kind of in the same situation as me, maybe with having multiple accounts on whatever it is, of course, if you're trying to have multiple accounts, I'll just mention this right now because why not? I got this video right here if you want to check it out down below. It just kind of shows you all how to make multiple accounts in sneakers. So if you want to check that down below, what's on the screen for it right now is just an ad, but yeah, you can check that. It's a very useful video because having multiple accounts will obviously increase your chances of copying, because that means you're again, entering more. So yeah, check that down below if you want to. I've already mentioned it, so I'll just kind of exit out there. Don't feel like I need to mention that again. And yeah, just 2-day shipping can increase your chances, but that's just a little thing that happens sometimes. It won't let it process. Now, another thing I kind of want to directly get into about copying on sneakers is this fairness post. So Nike is apparently going to be improving their sneakers fairness, and they actually have statistics on calculating their fairness are disenfranchised by our low fairness numbers. That's what the VP says, or the sneakers vice president. But I'm very confused by the statement because it's like they're at like the mid-20s. They need to be in the 80s. Okay, first things first. How do you calculate fairness on an app? How do you statistically calculate fairness? Like, how do you define a person that is fair versus a person that's not fair on an app? I don't know, just kind of sounds a little bit odd to me on how they're able to, I guess, kind of get this information, but also it just sounds like a total lie. I don't believe this in the slightest bit. Like, they're not giving an exact number. They're just saying mid-20s, they need to be in the 80s. It sounds very vague. So to the VP or the sneakers VP, Ron Ferris, you're doing your job correctly. You're just being as perfectly vague as sneakers would normally be. So keep doing your job good, Ron Ferris. You gave us absolutely nothing useful. So yeah, really looking into that. That's just kind of what I think. And yeah, shout out at least this guy. This is the only useful thing I can get from this post. This guy right here, and the information talking about fairness. So sneakers could be improving fairness in the future. But I don't know how they're going to do that other than like Face ID verification for accounts or something, which, they could do that, but that would be like, no, they could do that. They could do that. I think that's the way. Yeah, don't let them find this. Oh well, okay. But yeah, next thing, aside from that, link in that post right there, I just wanted to discuss, was kind of head back to this. I have a couple other things I want to discuss, which I think is useful. I want to pop up a picture for this because I think, well, actually, I don't have it on this Mac, I don't think, but I want to recommend this. I'll pop it up on the screen right now so you guys can see it, and I'll leave it there for a little bit. But main thing I want to say is having a location and profile picture on your photo. I believe this helps, along with changing your account gender to female. I've mentioned this before in my last Sneakers How to Cop video. Whenever I made that, I mentioned that, changing your account gender to female for female related drops, like women sneakers specifically, can increase your chances of copying, but also just in general, I think Nike is trying to have more female sneakerheads on board. So if you want to change your account to female, then do that. But if you just want to leave it the same, then I understand that totally. But again, that just kind of first tip I was mentioning there. Before that one, just make sure you have a profile photo and a location for your account. I think that is useful information to have. Of course, have your address and all that pre-saved. If you have multiple accounts, make sure you're jigging your address correctly. I'll just kind of, I guess, head into this tip, but when jigging your address, what that means is, of course, is you can't ship all your packages to the same address. If you have multiple accounts, you can't ship a bunch of packages to the same address. So how you do it correctly is you have to jig the address. You'd have to split your house up into like apartment sections or room sections. So for example, you're on your first account, you type your address, blah, 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 whatever street it is, yeah, right? So just like, 123 Sneaker Street, all right? And then the second account, right, whatever account it is, you'd have to go 123 Sneaker Street, room 1 or apartment 1. And you would either put it in the address 2 section or you'd put it in the apartment section. Doesn't matter what section you put it in specifically. You put it in either address line 2 or in the apartment section. I live in an apartment complex, so it's really easy for me to just make a ton of sneakers accounts because I can just go apartment A, D, B, F, C, X, and it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter if it exists because the number does, and they don't really check on what number specifically for my complex. It's like a mail room, so it's pretty dope. I like it, and makes it easier, at least for me. But that's just how you jig your address correctly. Just want to mention that too. Mentioning it a little bit earlier, but I just feel like it's important right there to kind of get that out of the way. Now, another thing I have to mention right here, and this is a personal belief. This is not a confirmed sneakers fact, but I do feel like this is. I feel like this is somewhat true. I feel like older Nike accounts hit more often. My most successful sneakers account is my older sneakers account, or my oldest Nike account that I made back in 2016 when I was, doing track and all that. Back when I was doing that, that was my old account right there. And I, made a sneakers account on that one, and it's been around since, like October 2016. And whenever I use that account, I've hit on so many drops. I hit Lightning 4s. I've hit on a lot of very profitable ones. That's that account I hit Travis Scott lows on. So, I mean, there's just a lot of different ones, a lot of different factors I feel like that play into sneakers. And I feel like that's one of them is the age. I feel like they give a lot of respect to their older Nike members, especially the ones that spent money with them, because I was always buying the running shoes, track shoes. So I spent a lot of money on that Nike account as well. So if you spend a lot of money with Nike too, that's another thing I'll mention. I feel like that's not one that's confirmed also, but I feel like it's pretty obvious. I mean, if you are more active on the app, spending money, I feel like they would give better releases to you. I feel like that's kind of a given thing, I mean, Adidas does that. They do it with Confirmed in their app. FLX does it. I mean, all these companies do it. Why wouldn't they do it? It makes them more money. So you just kind of have to think with that, at least, in my opinion, that's at least how it works. It's just if you spend more money with Nike, go for as many drops as possible or staying active on the app, going on the sneakers lives. I feel like that does kind of matter. Now, not fully. One thing I want to say, because Nike has actually come out and said this themselves on the exclusive access thing, interact with content you're truly interested in. Only interact with what you want to on the app. Don't, be trying to fake activity or whatever. I don't feel like they can really check if you're faking activity, but if you're actually trying to be active on the app, like check it for a certain amount of time every day, or you like, kind of checking like the fit check or whatever kind of thing they got in the app, then keep doing that because that will help you participate in the polls, do all that. Because I did a little experiment too. I want to mention this, no BS. On one of my accounts, I was as active as possible for a month, and then I was just not active at all. And I did this on my phone account. This was back in, I think, July. Yeah, it was back in July for the Oreo 4 drop. And the month that I was active, I hit on Oreo 4s, and pretty much since I haven't been active on my account since, I guess pretty much after July, I haven't hit on my phone account and all. I've been hitting on my computer ones, but not my phone ones since I haven't been active on it. So does activity matter? I at least feel like it does a bit, and just, again, interact with what you want to. And they say setting up multiple accounts could reduce and this is a very important keyword I want to mention. I think this is Nike kind of playing a little psychological trick. Could reduce. I don't think having multiple accounts reduces your exclusive access. I don't think Nike even knows how to check until they get verification. So that's just kind of my opinion right there. So yeah, just kind of get that out of the way. I mentioned that. And another thing too, I feel like this is very important since we just kind of have been getting into sneakers. We've mentioned multiple accounts, everything to it. Another thing I kind of want to discuss is actually payment methods, because that's a pretty important thing too. You don't want to forget that. So if you're on a phone, I feel like the two fastest methods that you can go with are either Apple Pay or PayPal. They're very effective and easy ones, and of course the charges are pretty easy to go through on PayPal, which is a very good thing. And then if you're on a computer, I mean, you can't beat PayPal unless you have a card. Cards just sometimes take a while to process, but again, if you have multiple accounts, it's sometimes easier to use a PayPal email that is connected to a credit card or something like that. That is very useful sometimes. And I believe you can use a PayPal account on multiple accounts, by the way. For anybody asking, you can do that. But if you're using a PayPal account on multiple accounts, you have to link it to a bank account. You cannot link it to a debit card. It will not work, or at least it'll work, and then your orders will get canceled. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. At least there might be some people in my comments that'll say, hey, I've been doing that and having no problem. And if that's the case, I'll pin that comment so people will not miss out on that information right there. So another thing I'll mention, just Apple Pay on the phone, by far the fastest method. And for people asking me how to add the 2-day shipping on Apple Pay, because there's a lot of people that are like, hey Tristan, I do the Apple Pay method, but I don't know how to add 2-day shipping or next day shipping. So when you're on the Apple Pay screen, right, and it pops up saying like your address, your name, and it says like the shipping, when it'll arrive, there will be a little section right there saying like shipping, and it'll say standard in the arrival and like your name and all that. Click on that, and it'll let you change to 2-day shipping. And it'll say like next day, the cost of each, the options. So don't forget, you can do that too. And I always recommend that, trying different shipping options. It's always a good thing, especially that 2-day and next day on those kind of nicer drops. You paying for shipping, Nike will turn the eye and be like, oh, you paying for shipping? Throw them the pair. They'll trust me. Trust. But another thing I also want to mention now, it's just my guys right here at Secret Sauce, man. These guys have dropped me so much more useful information than I can even imagine. They let me know today about the Nike Plus app drop that we got going on. We got about like 15 sneakers dropping on the Nike Plus app today, so a lot of stuff going on there. But I just want to mention my guys right here. They can help you cop a lot of sneaker releases off foot sites. They caught me a pair of Lightning 4s off Restock the other day, which I'll be showing those pretty soon in hand. But there's just so many different things that these guys really have to offer. Copy new PS5s, whatever it is. If you just want to check them out, go on their Twitter, send them a message on Twitter and be like, yo, Tristan sent me, how can I get into the chat? Or just go on their Instagram and wait for them to drop invites again. I just want to mention them really quick, and these guys have really done a lot for me. I just want to mention specifically with sneakers, copying releases, sneaker investing, random profits, whatever it is, 100% legitimate. And you can see people having success in this chat. Again, I'm sure there'll be a lot more success coming on very soon. Look at this guy got three pairs of these kicks right here of the social status dunks. So I'm hoping I'll have my dub come through soon, because I entered the local raffle right there, but you can see plenty of people hitting on those. And yeah, look at that. I mean, that's pretty awesome. You can see people copping pretty easily. So yeah, if you want to check them out, just do everything I said right there a little bit earlier. And we'll just kind of head into discussing a little bit deeper on sneakers now, because we got that out of the way right there. So a couple other things to mention. This is just kind of a direct tip, but I feel like not entering immediately in the draws on all your accounts is important. Now, you can enter immediately. That's fine. If you want to enter all your accounts within the first couple of minutes, that's perfectly fine. But I feel like entering once it's been like 2-3 minutes in the draw is more authentic. I feel like it's more not maybe more authentic, because anybody can enter in the draw at any time. It's 10 minutes for a reason. But specifically what I mean by that is if you have more accounts or you just have one, I've seen a lot more people hit at least when they've entered at like 10:03 or 10:05 and waited a bit. Just to, enter in their drops, not immediately, like spamming the button, coming soon or whatever. Like, that's not the best approach in my opinion. But being informed, being really close, being ready for the drops, there's no problem with that. That is actually what you should be doing. So if you have the screen up, you're ready on the sneakers page before 10 a.m., no issue with that. Just, you can load up all your accounts before 10 a.m., but do not enter until like 10:02 in my opinion. That's at least what I think, because I got like 10, I think I got 14 accounts. That's how many accounts I have. So yeah, I've been testing a lot of them, and I know what works and doesn't. So, and yeah, I feel like I really kind of sped through everything right there, but that's really everything I need to mention about sneakers so far. All my tips, at least, that I have for now. I feel like, honestly, Nike just likes, I'll kind of break it down at the end right here for y'all, but Nike likes people that spend more money with them. Nike likes people have older accounts, in my opinion. At least I feel like that's a tip. And Nike likes people that participate more. If you're all three of those things, then boom. If you have an old account, go get that back up and make a sneakers account on it. I promise it'll help you. And then we'll just kind of go through this article real quick. Again, I really said Yeah, I mean, this just really kind of explains. I've read through this article plenty of times, but this really just explains how random exclusive access is, which I actually can appreciate the randomness of exclusive access. I'm someone who has never gotten exclusive access, but I bet when I do get it one day, whenever it is, it'll be for a nice pair of kicks. But another thing I have to think about is I have 14 accounts, so I really have to stay diligent, because there's totally a chance I could have missed it by now, but it's whatever, because your boy still hits on the drops. So that's everything that needs to be said. I'll link my Instagrams, all that down below. If you guys have any questions, any tips of your own, leave them down below in the comments. Help my people out, of course. And if you can subscribe and like for more, of course. If you felt like this video was helpful, let me know. If you didn't, of course, let me know what I can improve upon. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, that's everything that needs to be mentioned. So I'll end the screen recording. I'm actually recording this video on my old computer since I did get it fixed, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, that's everything. So I'm Tristan. Thank you all for watching. And I got 2 minutes to get entered in that Nike Plus app draw. That's happening in 2 minutes. I need to cop some pairs. See y'all. Peace.
Made a fucking hit.